Hey, what's going on, Guardians? TVL here, and so today we got our very first look at the IGN First series, covering some of the things we're going to be learning about and experiencing in the world of Destiny 2. This is going to be an ongoing series from IGN that is going to span several weeks with different videos coming out every single day talking about different things having to do with Destiny 2. And today, for their very first exploration video, they took a look at the brand new social space, The Farm. And first things first, don't you worry your pretty little head, there aren't really any sort of big gameplay spoilers within the IGN First video. I'll be showing clips and bits of it throughout this video right here, but you're not going to be spoiling anything for your Destiny 2 experience. It's basically just how the new social space is going to work, what's going to be there, and the kind of tiny little bits and quirks about it. So first things first, we got a little bit of a bombshell. Tyra Karn from the Iron Temple is going to be our new resident Cryptarch. She has taken up residence, moved away from the old Iron Temple up on top of Fellwinter Peak, and moved it on over to the farm. Well, I'd say that bodes ill for our main man, Master Rahul, but even though it's been a couple of years, I guess that feeling of anger and frustration for all those legendaries turned blues finally caught up with the old man. I'm sure the comment section for this video will be filled with hashtag #RipRahul. 1 million deaths were simply not enough for Master Rahul. But moving on, one thing that they did make note of is that this new social space is going to be dynamic. It's going to change as you progress through the game. As you already know, there's going to be a lot more of a narrative focus in Destiny 2, and we've certainly seen bits and pieces of that with how the Vanguard leaders are going to be separated off on their own campaigns on different worlds, and it's going to be your job throughout Destiny 2 to go and find them, rescue them in some instances, talking about Cade, Ikora, and Zavala in particular, and bring them back to Earth so that they can coordinate their strike back against the Cabal. And I do believe that's going to tie in very heavily for the kinds of things you'll be seeing going on in the social space at the farm. So your farm experience might be somewhat different from other players who aren't as far in the story as you or who are farther in the story than you. You'll see NPCs come and go on ships and all sorts of different things, and I really got to appreciate that. I like that Destiny 2 is going to be a much more story-focused game, and that little touches like the social space changing with that, I don't know, I think it's a good idea. I really like the idea of a more natural, living, breathing hub for our Guardians. But moving on from there, we got our first look at the new Postmaster, Darby5530, so no worries, you're still going to be getting mail, and yeah, my Postmaster is still going to be chock full, no change there. But where there is going to be some big change is we finally have some wildlife showing up in the tower, and I don't just mean those paltry pigeons who flee at the first sight of a Guardian in Destiny 1. We've got chickens, that's right, live and in person. We've got some poultry making its way around, and I can already tell the chicken is now a fan favorite character in Destiny. Hashtag save the chicken. Don't let the chicken die in the Cabal fight. Do it for him, do it for her, do it for that chicken. And of course remember, if video games have taught us one thing, it's never, ever betray the chicken. After that, we got to see a few of the miscellaneous activities we'll be able to engage in the tower. Not really to accomplish any sort of goal, but kind of just to placate yourself in between raids or strikes or anything like that. And surprisingly enough, we got ourselves a fully functional soccer field. That's right, some good old-fashioned football action going on the farm for Guardians to engage in. And yeah, it's a full game. You can actually rack up points and scoring, and it's got this cool little effect that goes on there. They showed off a little bit of that. They spoke about how the farm and really social spaces in Destiny are not just for players to go and do inventory management. It's also a place for players to kind of show off their Guardians. And so they're going to be incorporating things that help you do that a little bit better. They spoke briefly about effects that might make your character run a little bit faster in the social space, or just kind of be a bit more apparent to other players. I'd imagine it's probably going to be similar to some of the effects we have in the game right now, or say you pop a Jack-o'-lite and you get a big helmet, or one of those Festival of the Lost things that gives you bat wings when you spawn in. Probably little aesthetic effects like that, which of course I'm perfectly fine with. Also, the social space is now going to hold up to 26 total players. That's a little bit more space than what we have in the game right now. which will hopefully allow fire teams a little bit more leeway when they're trying to all join up on one player in a social space. But that's pretty much it for the IGN First social space farm exploration video wrap-up. They didn't really cover too much other stuff, but tomorrow, July 6th, they are going to be exploring Bungie's vision for Destiny 2. Ooh man, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of commentary that comes out of that one. And of course, while we didn't see too much, it is still nice to see some of the little tidbits of detail and information about Destiny 2 just kind of trickling out. We are going to be getting one of these IGN First every day leading up until the 28th of this month. So make sure you're staying tuned, as we will be covering everything we learn from those videos. But alright Guardians, that's it for this one. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of the new farm social space down in the comment section below. And of course, press F for chicken. And as always, I am TheBlackLink. You Guardians, stay frosty.